Hello everyone. Now, do you do a lot of flower arranging? If so, you might have a bunch of leaves left over. So I'm going to make something pretty out of these. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Hello everyone. This is Billie. Welcome to Billie Holman Creations. Now, before I get started on the main project, I want to do something with all these leaves. Basically, I'm just going to get the plastic off, just strip all the plastic backings off, get them off the stems, and believe it or not, well, you might believe it because I think I've done it before, I'm going to iron them. So once that's done, I'll gather up a few items and we'll proceed with this next project. I hope you like it. Be back soon. Well, here we are. I have all the leaves separated from the plastic. They are ironed, and I have less than what I really thought I had, because looking at it from the beginning, it was mainly, plastic and stems and things. But this is what I've ended up with, and I've tried to sort it just a little bit to see what's there. And like I see, these are mainly ivy. So aside from leaves, we're going to need a bowl. Now I have this old Pyrex bowl, which was my mom's. She was quite the baker and candy maker. And I like the shape of it because it doesn't have a big lip. And it does have a, a base, like a little bit of a standing base here. So any kind of bowl will do. It's your preference. Plastic should work. Larger, smaller, depending on what you would like to do. So we're going to be covering our bowl with Cling and Seal, clear wrap. What's the other one? I can't think of that right now, but anything to just keep the glue off of your bowl, because we're going to be using Mod Podge. So we'll need Mod Podge. And this is the matte. It doesn't matter, matte or glossy, because I may put resin on top. I'm thinking I will, but I'm not quite sure yet. So an old brush for your Mod Podge, a little bit of water, a little soap in it. And then I'm not in a hurry to think about embellishments yet, but I did grab a few things. So we'll keep this in mind once we're making a bowl. Once the bowl is finished, we'll keep these in mind. I just have some small silk flowers here, a little bit of lace, and we'll just take it from there. And hopefully my phone won't die on me. I just erased a bunch of memory. So, first of all, and I'm probably loud because I'm standing up right into the speaker, and I apologize for that. I should sit down and it'll get better. I'm not going to worry about the inside of the bowl, because I want to just be sure and cover the outside. And this is not the easiest stuff to work with, is it? And I don't mind if it gets wrinkly or this or that. I just want to keep the glue off the bowl. That's a fold there. We don't need a big fold. Now let me go the other direction. And then we'll just fold it into the inside. Hopefully I can get all that area covered. We should be good. Try to shape it a little bit. Keep it rather taut. And we'll just fold it in. And, the Mod Podge, if it does get on there, it'll wash off. But let's just prevent some of that from happening. It's been a while since I made these, but because I had all those leaves gathered up, I think we can call that good. That's all we need. Just cover it up. If you want to do it again, you can. Cover it twice. That's up to you. Let me put this aside. So basically, we're going to have 3 layers. we're going to have a middle layer, an outside layer, and an inside layer. So what I want to do first of all is just start with the middle layer, and I'm going to use up the leaves that I really don't care for. You know, the oddballs. Let's just use those oddballs up. And I'm going to start at the base. So, for one thing, I've got these real long ones. Don't need those. We can use little ones for fill-in. I should raise you a little bit. I just hit the lamp. Go that way. And, oh, there's some tacky ones in here. If they're tacky, let's use them. Got those. Oh, these are rather ratty, but the more we have on 3 layers, the thicker it'll be. And we'll probably be a little bit happier with it. Some more oddballs, hollies. Those are fraying. We'll get rid of those. That one already has Mod Podge on it. The others look pretty good. If we need to delve into them, we can. These are oddballs. And I'm just going to start covering this bowl. Okay, I might take some of these flatter ones and just go into the middle. It's going to take a generous amount. Did I miss a spot? No. Generous amount of Mod Podge. But let's just do it. It's my old decoupage brush. And I'll sit down. And here we go. Just slather on good amount here. And when we do the 2 other layers, we don't need the bowl at all. We can work without the bowl, I think. Don't quote me on that, but let's just get some of these on there. I should put some gloves on, and then I can really use my fingers and get these pushed down. Basically, we're just going to do this and let it set overnight so it's completely dry. Let's go this way. And for this, we don't need to make it pretty. So this is basically all I'm going to do. I don't want a bunch sticking up. If they do stick up and we resin, we might have to sand and cut some of this off. But I'll probably go ahead and get some gloves on. And I will catch up with you when this is completely layered and ready to put aside for the evening. Okay? I'll be back with you shortly. Well, this is moving along pretty well. I have some gaps I still need to fill. But I wanted to mention to you, as I was, I did put it on a turntable, which was really helpful. As I got to the edges, I guess we'll see if you can see. So I was getting to the edges. I didn't come down close enough to this one. I was just taking some of these longer leaves and cutting them in half so I had a straight edge. I still need to do that and fill in this area here and a couple of others. But I do have some more of these, and they were just easy to cut. And I didn't mention going around curves. Going around some of the curves, I just had to, cut a few little sections here so they will be malleable enough to go with the curve itself. So I'm going to keep going. I'm almost through. I'll let you go now and come back tomorrow. We'll work on the second layer and add the nicer looking leaves. This is just pretty much a patch job, using up, like I said, the odd shapes and different sizes, a lot of smaller sizes. So until then, have a good evening, and I'll see you soon. Soon? I'll see you shortly. Oh my word, Billie. Good night. Hello everyone. Well, this first layer is pretty dry. You know, it's not sticky at all to the touch. And like I said before, this is going to be our middle layer. So what I want to do right now is just go around and clip some pieces that really didn't lay down all that well. You know, some of the tips didn't lay down. We'll get them down eventually, but if they're really protruding, I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off. There's not too many. This one, I didn't go around the curve of the bowl very well, so that's sticking up a bit. That should be okay. There's some tips down here that aren't all the way down, but other than that, I missed a spot right there. I think we'll be okay. Other than that, oh, here's another one. I think we'll be fine. Just get rid of those that really didn't go down all the way. Shouldn't get too carried away on that, or else I'll lose a lot of them. So what I want to do is I want to work on the outside today, and I'm going to flip it over, and I did put it on a turntable, which was really beneficial. I'm going to flip this over, and what I think I'm going to do is just start at the top. So you might not be able to see with this angle. I might just take it off the wheel here and just handle it by myself here. That's a bit of a rough edge. And I'm not going to turn them over, you know, fold them over here until we get it out of the plastic. There's another tip sticking out. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go over with resin. So let me see. I'm going to try to just, let's get rid of that. If I had a piece of styrofoam, that would be, I could lean it on. That might help, but we'll just work this way. So I'm going to go with the ivy leaves. Now, I pulled out some of the smaller ones here. We're going to start with those first. There's a few medium-sized ones here in this. I just messed up my piles. But then we have these are pretty much the standard size of all these leaves. And then there's a couple of big ones, which we may use, we may not. So, getting out my Mod Podge. You know, and I do like the matte finish on this, but it's not going to matter. What I really need to do is be very strategic and get these outside leaves down as well as I can. It's pretty yucky. Maybe I should just get rid of this cardboard. Look at that. Ugh, we'll get rid of it. I don't think it makes a difference. I've got my water over here with a little soap. My brush. How far of this can you see? Let me double check. Oh, we should be all right. Miss Annie is here. Hello, Miss Annie. You just need to stay out of the way a little bit, darling girl. For those of you who haven't met Miss Annie, she is my almost 17-year-old gray kitty cat. She's my video diva. She tends to be here when I'm in the craft room, but sometimes I do have to put her out because if I'm using UV resin, or she just tends to move into my area and I can't do a thing. So sometimes I just have to put her out. So let's just start with these smaller ones. And eventually I'll fold the tips over like that and trim them off. But for the time being, I think I have enough to go all around the edge. And we're going to work our way from top to bottom. So I don't have gloves on. It'll get messy. Don't mind the mess. I don't mind the mess at all. So let's just go with it. I think if I just leave the tip up there and just go around with the rest of the body. We should be able to cover quite a bit up. So let's see what happens. These are a bit stiff. And when the other one was drying, I kept going around and double checking it and pushing, you know, pushing parts down that didn't want to stay. Like this one might be a bit of a problem. Come on, let's just go down. You can always come back later with more Mod Podge. So this is the plan right here. Oh, get it to start sticking. We'll just keep going. You have to be very generous. I'm pretty generous with the Mod Podge, so let's just match up those tips just like that. Come on, stay on there. Push you up a little bit. I said I want to try to make this look cohesive. I'm rather a cohesive kind of artist. I like things to match up and, you know, be equal. So let's see how well I could do this. Bring that right up to the edge. Like so. So we're really only just using part of this, these smaller leaves. Put enough on top so it'll sink in. You know, this is going to be rather rustic. I need to pull that up more. Here we go, Billie, fussing. You fuss and you pull them off. But what do I tell Miss Gerd? That's how I roll. Okay, let me pull this one up a little bit. I want them right to the edge. There we go. Whoops. Well, that's bound to happen if you keep fiddling. Maybe I should overlap a little bit. You push down with your brush. Use your fingers. Whatever suits your fancy. We'll just keep going around and around. I want to get it nice and wet. Grab another one. Push that down. If I see them pop up, push them down. Let's see. Make sure the right side up. I'm going to overlap a little bit. I think the more the Mod Podge, the sturdier it will be. Like I said, I might have to trim these tips. They'll be getting in the way, I'm sure. Let's wait till I make it all the way around. There's a bit of a dip there. I don't know if you could have used tin foil. I don't think that would have worked out so well because I think the Mod Podge would have stuck to it. So cling wrap is what I've been using. I just want to make sure, there we go, it's not in the way. Let's get another one. We'll kind of overlap it. Bring it to the edge. So I'll be doing this all the way around, and then we'll go underneath these to the next layer. All right, I'm going to put you on pause. So I tend to get long-winded, and I don't want to do that to you all the time. So I'll put you on pause and see you in just a few minutes. Okay, I let these set up a little bit. So they're pretty much stuck together. I went around and pushed everything down, and it looks pretty good. There's a little corner there that's not, but anyway, I think I'm ready for the next round. So I'm going to leave the tips as they are for now. I think we'll fold those over later once we get the inside in, so we can fold over that way. But for the time being, I'm ready to go on to these medium-sized leaves, and I think I have plenty to do you know, go around another 2 rows, possibly 3. But anyway, I'm going to try to lay these where the tip, and I could still possibly fold it down, is just going to hang over the edge a little bit. And then if we start layering these and I go to the center, I think we'll be okay. Now remember, if you have a part that's not going to lay flat, just snip it. Just snip it and fold it over itself a little bit, and that should work out fine. So here we go. Let's just do another round and see how we fare. So I probably need a good amount here. And I was thinking, you know, I could have just put these in a resin mold of some kind, like a bowl or whatnot, but I just wanted to show you a different technique without having to use a mold. So I'm just going to press this one down to get enough under here and repeat the process. So pretty much this is all I'm going to be doing, going around and around with our different layers like so. And I'm going to let that sit overnight completely, let it all set up. Oops. I notice when I play with them too much, I move them around. So let's get that one in, and we'll go to another. And then I'll let you go, and I'll just keep going in circles per se. Heck, why not? I'll just go in circles. So until then, I'll see you tomorrow morning, which will just be a second for you, when this is set up, and we will start on the inside. Okay, until then, have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, I'm back with the bowl. I was able to do the second coat of leaves and also a second coat on the bottom. So what I thought I would do right now is just take a little bit of my B7000 and just try to squirt a little bit underneath some of these that are sticking up. Not too many are, but I thought let's just get those down before we flip it out of the bowl. Just a few little spots where I've missed a few places, and we can always go back and do this again. So let me just finish that for now, and we'll do it again before I put the resin on, because there might be more spaces once we flip it over. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, now I just folded in the tips because I want to be able to fold them down later. So let me just lift these up and see if I can't get it out of the bowl, and we can work from there. I might have to peel a little bit of the saran wrap off of there. Let's just be sure to loosen it up. Pardon that noise. My phone microphone is right there. Okay, let's just see if I can't loosen it up. A few pieces sticking. I might just cut those little pieces that are sticking. Flipped it over. Can't squeeze the bowl, but I can squeeze the leaves. If I can get a good spot. Maybe get a thumb out of here. Let me move this tray. this. Use my fingers, or what could I stick down there to try and release some of that with? Almost there. Let's see. Turn my little finger. That's stuck there. I'm going to flip it. Let's see what we can do. If I can try. Here we go. Look at this. I think it's coming out. The bowl first. There we go. The bowl is out. Now, still quite flimsy. Other layer we might have to leave on. See, it's glued down pretty good, but we did protect the bowl. Nice. All right, so since you've seen me do most of the outside, I'm going to go ahead and get my Mod Podge and layer the inside. What do you think? A little thin spot there. You can see through, but other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. So I'll get back to you when I've got the inside done, okay? See you shortly. Hello everyone. Now I was able to finish the inside of the bowl. So both sides are done. We have several layers now. And I'm going to just put some resin on the inside, and then we'll let that cure and put some on the outside. So I have just mixed up 2 ounces of my Let's Resin, and I'm going to, it's very bubbly, but I don't think that matters with what we're going to do, but I'm going to sparingly just rub it into the inside of this bowl, and I'm going to try not to let it puddle up too much in the bottom, but if it does, you know, that's not going to be harmful at all, because then we'll have, you know, a sturdier base on it. But it turned out pretty good. I'm still a little confused as to how I want to do the outside trim, but I guess 1 or 2 steps at a time, eh? Now let me just get a little here. I don't have a brush, I don't think, that's, you know, would be beneficial to use on this. You know, I just guess fingers will do. Fingers will do. So I'm just gonna, here we go, I'm gonna be messy, but I just want to rub. I'll start at the top. See if I can't rub that in, because I don't want big puddles. But look how that's going to bring out the shine of these leaves. Now, it was suggested to me to use UV resin, but I'm not well versed in UV, and I really think this using our regular resin would be a little better on this bowl. Now, if I were to put food in here, I would suggest, you know, putting a cloth inside, like for rolls, or, you know, oranges, or that could be, you know, fine. They have the peel, but anything else, I think I'd put a nice linen inside before we, you know, actually put food in. But that'll work pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have too much of a runoff. Gosh, I probably could do both sides with this today. But I didn't prepare for my middle because I thought about putting a piece of silicone inside, like a, oh, even just a coaster, and then propping it up upside down on a jar or something like that. But I wasn't ready for that to do right now. But I just want to be sure. See how flexible it still is? Just want to be sure we don't get a big puddle. So I did make more resin than I needed. Let me take a look at this and see. There's missed some spaces. Just take another bit and go around again. So I could turn this over and let it dry, but I don't want to see a bunch of runs, you know, if that was the case. So I think I'll just let it cure right side up. It's going to be perfect. I've never made less than 2 ounces at a time of resin, so I do have extra. But I think maybe it's just the color of those leaves there that don't want to change color with the resin. So I'm just massaging it in there. And we'll worry about the outside later. I'll double check this and see if it puddles up. I can, you know, continue to rub it in some more because I don't want a funny looking bottom. And there we go. There's my mess. Good fiddling, Billy. Okay, now I've got quite a bit of resin left here. Let me wipe these gloves off if I can. I've got some alcohol right here, a spray bottle, because I'm going to have to add some color to that. Let me see how much I have. I wanted to do another little pair of puppy paws, which are right here, and I just put a little silver mica in there, and I don't want to touch with dirty gloves. Might have to change gloves. But over here, I have just put some leftover mica powders in the bottom of these containers, so we can do another set of shakers with these excess pieces. So if I still have resin left, I'm going to use this little mold, which has we've got a chick, a bear, a pig, and it looks like a cat. And those are supposed to be little balls. So let me just very carefully, well, I have to think of a color. What color should we do all the background? Darn, maybe I could do a black cat. I was thinking about a pink pig, but I think I want black on the back of these. So let's just do that. I'll use up what I have here, and we'll put a little bit of Let's Resin pigment paste in here, just a drop. And that should use up most of this excess here. Give it a drop in that. Come on, just a drop. I know you're not empty. Oop. 1 drop. How about 2? Say 1 and change your mind. Come on, go. There we are. Alright. Got some new sticks. These came in a package from Temu with some more, you know, pots, mixing bowls. So I'm going to very carefully. That turned out okay. It's still streaky. Let's make sure that's mixed in good before it gets too warm. The bowl's looking good. I don't think much is going to run down. But you never know about resin, do you? I'll keep an eye on it today. I don't have any glitter or anything handy in here. It's more of a gray. Gosh, I've got to get with it. Let's do another drop here. It's not quite opaque. Oh, that was a good. I'm going to glue my lid on with resin. So I'll check back on this later. I don't know how long it'll take to cure. Probably the best bet is to leave it overnight. But I don't think I need another coat. Okay, let's do this. Don't have any syringes in, not syringes. Oh, what are those? Pipettes. Pipettes in myself don't do real well. This is getting warm. Well, I guess I'm just going to be very careful and make sure those are kind of level. Get a little bit in the top, or these will be the bottom. This will be the bottom of these. And I was coloring with micas with my polyurethane varnish, and that's what's happened here. I just put what was left on the bottom of these containers. And when I get a few more, I'll make some shakers. I don't remember the video number, but I can put that in the description box. And we can make some more, but I want this really to the top because that way against the skin it'll be smooth and you won't have rough edges if you wore this as a necklace. I think I'm good there, or I'll overdo it. Let's go to the gold one. And we have extra resin. I don't think it's advisable to mix, you know, like 1 ounce. I don't know, but I guess it's feasible. I'm not sure if you're working with milligrams and all that. I just don't want to go over the sides, and I think, ooh, that's going right down into the edge. On this side, come on over there. See it working its way around, so that's good. See a piece of glitter in there, orange or red. And take a stick and go around it, but that's right to the top, so we're good. Don't get in a hurry, Bill. All right, I'm going to finish these. Put the rest in a little cat or bear over there. Do these paws. And I will see you when our leaf bowl is cured, and we'll do the other side. And whoa, possibly by then I'll have a border figured out. Okay? See you then. I'll see you then. Bye. Hello everyone. Well, here's our bowl. First layer of resin on the inside. Turned out pretty nice, but I'm thinking once we get the outside in or on, it will be quite a bit stiffer. Now before I get to the bowl, let's just quickly unmold these little things because I'm curious about these little faces here. Now I think 2 bears, or 1 bear, 2 bears and a cat. See if I can't pop these out. They're supposed to be little faces. Not sure what we would use these for. Unless it's keychains, but oh, that's cute. That's the little cat. Oh, we'll come back here. That's the little cat right there. black. I just need to cover. Oh, the tip of his ear is broken. Well, we'll have to sand that a little bit. But, oh gosh, he's really cute. Like that. Where's the ear? Is it in there? No, it just didn't go in. I didn't get that resin in there. But, let's see. Is this another cat? Or is this another... Or is this the bear? Must have been two cats and a bear. Oh, now this is matte. There's the kitty. Both tips are gone. But that's a matte finish. Well, those are really cute little chubby things, aren't they? I wonder if you could put them on a body of some sort. Well, there's an idea, Billy. Those are really cute. I have to be careful with the ears and be sure to get resin in. Now, this must be the bear, and he'll be matte too. So we have a matte mold and a... Oh, there's even a little arms. Well, he's cute. Now his ears are there. Back up, Bill. That's really cute. Okay, I don't know what we're gonna do with those, but one of these days we'll do something with those. Make little bodies or something. And here are the little puppy paws or kitty paws. Look at that. That's cute. It's got the hole for hanging. I just put a little silver mica in there. There's the other one. And what I'd been doing is putting them on some earring posts, and they're the cutest little set of earrings, aren't they? Just a bead in your findings. Really cute. So I'll finish those up. I'd like to make quite a few of these. All right, to the bowl. Now, I had gathered up, well, I didn't gather up, I bought. Okay, I bought some fringe from Temu, and there were several styles, and I think there was 4 or 5 in a set, but I liked this one, so I'm going to pick this trim. Whoops, get my scissors. And, you know, ribbon and lace looks pretty good under resin, so I'm going to be sure these are on before we put resin over top and just seal it completely in. But I do like this. Let's see, how does it go? I do like that design. So let me see if I can trim this edge, and I'm just going to take, what am I going to take? I think I'm going to take my E6000, or should we go B7000? Maybe we'll go B7000. That way I can just put glue right across this edge here, a little at a time. So let's get this out. I'm going to pinch this raw edge together somehow, first of all, so it doesn't fray anymore. And then we'll have a focal point. I'm going to try to make a flower out of this jute. Not this jute, but regular, you know, stringed jute. So let's just go. I'm going to go right across the top, and we will go as close to the top as I can. And I will try to get more resin right across here as we go along. Just a little something something so it's not so plain. Now, let me see, how high do I need to go? Right about here, I guess. Get that down. I'm sure you can use hot glue. That would work too. So let me get this done. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. I'll show you what else we've got going on. And yes, that's my end. Okay. Hold that just a second. Now, you know, I put my descriptions, most of my descriptions of what I used in my underneath in the description area. But I have a link to Temu, but I normally don't put the actual link of something that I get there, because you never know when it's out of stock, or it's gone forever, or it comes back under a new company, a new number. But I can look it up if you need those specific links. I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, I'm going to let that be set aside. Now, here's something else I got from Temu, and I really think they're pretty. I'm not sure that I'll use them, maybe just a couple. Come on, Billy, let's just open his bag. I'll put them in a little container, but they're little fabric flowers, and they're very pretty. And what I like about them, well, some of these aren't centered, but what I like about them is they're muted colors. You know, they're really nice, naturally muted colors. So I do like that. Now, we could go all around the edge with these if we wanted to, and it would look really pretty. You know, just here or there. We could go all the way, but I don't think so. We might add these for accents. I wanted to show you these because they're really gorgeous, I think, now that I have them everywhere. All right. Oh, and here's a couple I did years ago. Now, these weren't sealed with resin. These are just Mod Podge, but they're quite stiff and sturdy. But I got to looking at these, and I thought, I have another idea for those on their own. So, let me show you. You want to try this with me? I bought this kit from Temu, and I tried to open it, and all the pieces came out, and I wasn't sure how to put them back together again. But this is a flower loom, and it's called Ruixing or something, Ruixiang. And, you know, you've got a few different styles of flowers you can do using the square or the rounds, and there's 3 different sizes for each, I believe. So, following the instructions, let's just try to put this together. Now, they sit in the base. This is the base. Here's the little lid that holds everything together. But here's the base. And I'm thinking this would be too big of a flower. So I'm going to try to do this medium-sized one here. And it comes with a little centerpiece. There's different instructions on how to use that. And of course your plastic sewing needle. But there's these little spots on the bottom, and you find your shape, and there's little grooves where those shapes fit in, like for right, that's where that one would go. And then one of these edges has a slit, or a couple of them do. So I'm going to try to use this real fine jute. I've got thicker, but I think that might be too awkward. And this is dainty trim, so I'm thinking let's just try and make a flower out of here. So the first thing we need to do is make a knot. Now this is the first time I'm trying it. I haven't done it with you. We better leave a bigger string to tie with at the end. Let's try this. We'll make a knot. And it doesn't say to slip it over anything. You just want to slip this knot in this slit to hold it. So we'll do that. Look, these don't set in very tight. I noticed that. And it's just a matter of your preference. See, whoops. Stay down. Of, should grab, I can't grab from the middle like yarn. It's just a matter of wrapping and then sewing it all together. So, let's see, I'm just going to go straight across. Probably, I don't know which is center, but just going to go around one, around the other, over one, back down, and around. Well, oops, if I can find my chair. We're back. Tell you what, these were easier to do when you took the actual plastic flower form off of the little holder thing. I was able to do that a lot easier, a lot quicker. Didn't have to fumble with it. Okay, so here's our bowl. I've got 2 ounces of my Let's Resin resin, 1:1, and I'm going to pour just a little bit in this container here because I'm going to daub around that jute, and I don't want the frays of the jute, you know, to come around and be in the resin when I do the rest of the bowl. So, old sponge brush from the hospital, and the first thing I'm going to do is go in here and daub that on. We can always take a lighter later to the jute and burn those frays off. That's the first thing I want to get done here. I'll try to saturate it. I might have maybe made a little more resin than I did because of this next part, but we'll just make do what we have. I did go ahead and make, you know, get those little animal heads ready in case I had excess resin. I used a little mica powder on the nose of the bear and 2 of the pigs because I thought I'd use pink mica. So we'll see what happens if I can get to that, but I just want to get this daubed on, and I'm going to do the same thing to the flowers. See all that extra jute? I guess we could wipe it in there, but I just don't want it in the clear resin. Let's get this good and sopped. I did a couple pieces before with lace in the resin. Oh my goodness, it turned out so pretty with the folds and the, you know, fluff of layers of lace. Resin took to it nicely. It's very pretty. But I want to get this bowl done. I've actually been working on this bowl on the side for several weeks now. So yes, it's about time I finish it. Might take more. See what we have left. Okay, I should get around the top edge too when I space that out. I want to hurry because I don't want my other clear resin to go flash cure on me. Making it pretty fuzzy, isn't it? I think I'm almost around the whole diameter of this. Am I? Yes, I am. Okay, I'm all the way around that. I'm going to use my fingers and press that in shortly, but while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and stiffen these flowers also. Just going to daub that in there like that. Maybe add a bit more. I didn't warm up my resin either. It's rather chilly in here today, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Got this one pretty well daubed. Grab my tweezers if I can see them. There's a pair. I'm just going to pull this out and squeeze a little excess off of there. That might be the wrong thing to do. We'll see how they turn out. We'll just see how they turn out. I'm going to flare it out a little bit. And I've got these silicone cups. I'm just going to let them cure on top of one of those. Let me spread these out a little bit. Okay. Set that on there. There's a little gap there. Open that gap up. And I thought about putting these little rhinestone pieces on, but I think I'll do that later. I think I will do that at a later time when we're ready to put this together. So let's grab this one. And I'll move these away. I don't want resin on them now. And we're gonna daub. And I hope because of this I have enough resin left. So with my tweezers I'm gonna get goopy anyway. Let's put that up there. See if I can't saturate it. Just like that. You don't have to pick resin out of the petals. So let's get another one of those over there. I'll try this one again. I probably got it too soppy. We shall see. Okay, just put it back, Billy. Put it back, let it cure. That one's got a big knot on the back of it. I think that's the first one we did. What's left in here? A little bit. And I'm going to add a little more. I don't think we're going to have enough for the little critters or the little paws. And I'll just spray this little dish with alcohol and use it again. This will be useless, I'm sure. Alright, let's call that good. Let's get that in there, like so. I have one more little cup. I'm going to put them off to the side so we can have a little room for this bowl. Set that one up there. Move you. I guess we'll go over here. I'm going to spritz a little alcohol on myself in this bowl. I'm going to get goopy again. Let's try to get any threads off of my gloves if I have some there. Stick that in there and wipe that out. Alright, alcohol moved. Now, I'm going to prop this up, but let's go ahead and get resin on here. Start with a little bit up top. See how far that will take me. I can still hold it in my hand here. Do like how the inside turned out. Shouldn't be manhandling the inside with resin on my hands. So I want to prop this up so it doesn't, you know, if it wants to drip, it can. Get it right in all those creases of the leaves. The bubbles will probably disappear. I can take my torch to it and try not to light the jute on fire, hey? Don't want that to happen. I forgot to go across the top rim. One sticking out there. Let's get resin under that leaf. And you know, this would probably be great to do, you know, if you did two coats on top and the inside, but I think this will be fine. Get in that area. Are we all the way around? There's a little spot I missed. Let's just keep going. I'm making all kinds of bubbles, but like I said, I'm not going to worry because this is going to probably run down a little bit. There's a seam of a leaf. Get in there. I can't get it all. That looks really pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead, since I completely spaced it out, run my fingers across the top here. Make sure it gets on the edge. Just do that. Try not to get my hand in the middle of the bowl because of the resin on the gloves. I'm really smashing those frays off, aren't I? Put them down, I guess. I just thought the jute would give it a little, you know, a little more natural look. I don't think there's anything else we'd want to put on there. And I think I'm good. So what I've done, let me get a little more alcohol. I've taped my bottle because it's just full of resin. Another piece of paper here. And I just tear these in half. Okay, we might be able to do a little critter or two. Ugh. This buzzer. By the time these dry, they'll crack and tear. So I took a jar. Just took a quart jar and I put cellophane, 2 layers on top. And I am just going to set this bowl right on there. And I was going to look for my little silicone rounds. Silicone? And put that on the inside, but we're just going to let this go, and I'll check on it, you know, and go around edges here to make sure we don't have major drips, because I don't want those. So with my sticky gooey hands, let's get one of these molds. I think I got the pig and the bear, the little dark pink mica inside. And you know what, I'm going to change gloves because I'm just loaded, and those are the second or third go round. I couldn't tell you what kind of gloves these are. We were lucky enough to have a friend who actually gave us a case of these. He also gave us black ones, but they're too small for me and Richard, so blue ones are a bit big, but at least I can maneuver with them. Alright, so this is what we've got left. That might do maybe 2, or maybe the earrings, because I did do another little puppy paw here. And I'm just going to grab some of this pink mica from Temu and dump it in there. It's not the prettiest pink. I think that's why I just want to use it up. Try not to get resin on the outside of this container, because we'll make more shakers with that. Now, let's just mix that in. Ooh, look at that. That's really pretty. I was wondering if I might, you know, I've had to add colorant to this, but no. It's a pretty pink shimmer, isn't it? Let's mix this up real good. It's getting thick. But we've had just enough. Let this cure overnight and see what becomes of our bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and set that there. Got ripples in my silicone sheet. So here we go. And I'm going to put a little in and just squeeze those ears to make sure they don't get bubbles. Let me do that real fast. If I can squeeze them, they're quite tiny. I don't want to mess up my mica powder. Hopefully that'll help, eh? Okay. I do like these Temu micas, you know, they're quite beautiful. Ooh, will we have enough? I believe so. Watch those rims, make sure they're right to the top and no air bubbles underneath. I think I'm good to go. Let's get a little more. Top that right off. Top this one right off. And I don't think I'm going to have enough for a pair of earrings, to be honest. Oops, let's see. You know, there is a possibility. Let me bring this closer. I should have moved that, but I'm afraid I'll really get it. And my, pardon me, my left hand's going to be right in your way. Let's see if I can pour. I'll probably have to scrape some out for the next one. Or if we only have enough for one, it can be a pendant. Get around that little, yeah, we're just going to have a pendant there. Maybe I can do a multicolored one. Or actually, that's not worth pouring. So, we'll just have a little pendant. And let's get the torch on that. I'm just going to save that in the cup, peel it out, and use it in the resin scraps. Now, I've got this kitchen torch here, Sundico, and I got this off Amazon, and I'll share the link. So here we go. Don't burn up the... Don't burn the jute, Billie. Turn it around. I think we're still level. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter, but there, it's sitting right. So I'll keep an eye on these, and I will check back with you bright and early tomorrow morning, and we can put this all together. All right, take good care, everyone. Thanks for watching thus far. Please like and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Bye. Okay then, I think this bowl turned out great, but let's finish it off. But before we do that, let's just demold these little pieces. I was able to make a second paw by scraping, just by doing a real good scrape in that cup. So, whoop. Here are the little pink paws. I thought those turned out pretty cute, pretty cute. So now I can make another set of earrings. I'm going to keep this mold close at hand, so when I do another pour, we'll have it. Now, I believe I did a bear and a pig. So we have a pink bear and a pink pig. Not quite sure, but I was able to get 2 of these done. And what do we have? Oh my gosh, there's the little bear face. There's a little pink muzzle, little pink ears. I think I'm going to put a couple of black diamond dots in there. But he turned out really cute. And this will be the pig. And I did get his ears. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, cute. Look at his little snout. So that's really cute too. Okay, good. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with those. To make keychains, we just have to drill a hole in the top, but I think something else might become of them. Okay, so I took my lighter, went outside, because it stinks, and I just very carefully went around the edge of this jute trim so I wouldn't catch it on fire. Now, here are the flowers. This is the first one I did, and I really gooped it up with probably too much resin. So that took a little bit of cleaning up to do. But the other 2 are nice. They're still a bit flexible. But we're going to go in 3s. Oh, I should have got my glue gun out, darn it. So, here are 3 little flowers. And I'm just going to glue those right in the middle with this B7000 of these flowers. Let's do a little blue one. I really didn't want to put resin. Oops. Maybe I better put maybe I better just get my glue gun heated up. That'll work better. Let me do that. I wasn't prepared, but I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're good to go. Did that hold? Well, yes. Well, no. Let's put a little glue in there. I'm going to just take the whole thing off and start again. I like these little flowers. They're quite pretty. Just set that right in there. I think you're going to love the bowl. I think I have some small oranges in the fridge. I'll have to put them in the bowl and take some stills. I'll show you that real quick. We'll put these on. You can decorate this any way you want, but the main idea was to use up all those leaves. Oops. Get you on there. I'm trying to work left-handed here. Okay. So look at this. This is how she turned out. Nice and shiny. It's still a bit flexible. You can do, 2 or 3 coats of resin. I probably should have done 2 more coats, coats 1 on each side, but I think this is fine, and I'm trying to find my seam. And I think it's right there. So I'm going to have to stand up. Let's get this real stiff one on there first, because it was rather hard to get the goobers off. This had the most resin on it. Let's see, should we Should we have it just right at the edge or sticking up off the edge? Maybe the edge would be a little safer. Maybe we only need one flower. I like the looks of 3 though, actually. I think we'll do them like that. So let's get this one down. Let's look at all those goobers. I did try to melt them off a little bit and almost caught a couple on fire. Put that down. Yeah, I'm going to go right below the rim, I think, so it doesn't get snagged on anything. Oh, pretty. Let's do the lavender one. Let's just come down a hair. How would that look with the 3rd? Is that too many? I like things in 3s, though, don't you? We're going to do it in 3s. So let's get this one glued. I'm right in your face, too. Let's lift up a little bit. Manuel. Let me push you over a little bit closer. Tend to get out of frame. Okay. Try to get a little, maybe on some of the tips. Come on, glue gun. There we go. I'm going to cover, overlap. That's what I mean to say. We're going to overlap a little bit. Oh, that's so pretty. Those flowers just make it, don't they? They just really make the finishing touch. That's lovely. And last to go. This one looks a little thinner. I think if you want to make these flowers, it's better off to just wrap them on your fingers, tie them off, and spread them out, but I had to give it a go. Yes, right about, let's see, there. Well, that's thinner. Okay. Thinner petals. There we go. There's our cluster. I'm not going to worry about leaves because, ta-da, we have leaves galore. Hold that down. There we are. There we are. I think that's really pretty. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for coming back to my channel. My subscribers, you're wonderful. My new subscribers, welcome. And I keep saying I've got to get that giveaway done. But I'll take some stills. And there is your leftover silk flower leaves made in a really nice bowl. Catch you on the next one. Take good care, everybody. Big hugs. Bye.